How's it going, guys? So, I just wanted to hop on here and explain to y'all that I really was going through it during the time of that video. I somehow found the courage to make that video, even though it was hard. I didn't want to, but I just figured I'd share exactly what I was going through during that time. And yeah, it was difficult, but I was able to make that video. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. And stay tuned towards the end. I'm going to share how I'm currently doing and the updates with that. So, appreciate y'all. How's it going, guys? This is, if you didn't know who I was, my name is CJ Novak. Today I'm going to be making another video over something that just recently happened, actually. And I thought it would be very cool to share with y'all. It actually isn't something that is necessarily good, but I think it's going to be an awesome learning experience for people that maybe haven't experienced this before. So the main idea with this topic is that there is a spiritual attack. There was a spiritual attack, and a pretty hard one that kind of came. There were signs to it, this is kind of a cool story, but there were signs, and I chose to ignore those signs, and these are pretty much the repercussions of my own actions. So just a little bit of background. My life has been pretty good the past year. I've been going to the church I've been going to now for almost a year. The next month will actually be 1 year anniversary of me going to this church, which is pretty cool. But yeah, ever since I've been going to this church, my life has been very good. It's definitely has had its ups and downs, but really overall it has just been an incline up with like just my mental health and my mood and all these things. Everything has gone up. I have an awesome community of people around me now. Lots of new friendships, and I'm just happier. I have more peace, and I'm just pretty content with life. One mistake that I've made, knowing all of that, knowing all the blessings that I've had, one mistake that I have made, that I've been making, is kind of taking all that for granted, taking all the blessings that the Lord has given me, and just kind of rationalizing it in my head that this was all that I did. I did all this for myself. I'm the reason why I've improved so much. I'm the reason why I'm so happy. My life's going so good. I don't really need to prioritize God. This is all on me. This is I'm the reason why my life is going so good. And I've been going to church. I've been going to these community events through the church and stuff. And I would pray and everything at church and all these things. And I would pray at home for a very long time. I was praying at home and having strengthening a personal relationship, my personal relationship with God, by speaking to Him and praying and journaling and doing these things to actively be in communication with Him. And I kind of just decided to cut a lot of those out because I didn't prioritize it, and I feel like I didn't need to do it. And I was just kind of coasting through my faith journey. So the really cool thing about this story is that God did communicate to me. He did tell me that, hey, you're not doing what you should be doing right now. He physically spoke to me, and I was sitting on the couch. I was on my computer, and he physically told me. He said, "I've been blessing you, but you've been ignoring me." He literally told me that. And when I heard that, I immediately got up from the couch. I was on the couch. And I immediately got up and I just started walking around. I was like, he's right. Like, he's right. Like, what am I doing? I'm literally getting, waking up, going to work, not thinking about him, coming home, not thinking about him. I'm doing these things with other people, but not really thinking about him on my own time, like I'm not prioritizing him on my own time, which that's the most important part. Like, you can go to church, you can go to these community events, you can hang out with your Christian friends, but do you have a personal relationship with them? How are you with him on your own time? You know what I mean? And that's really what was my downfall, I guess, in this whole situation, is that on my own time I was not prioritizing him, and God clearly told me that. And I thought about it, and I was like, and when he did tell me, like I said, he told me, and I just chose to ignore it. I was like, yeah, but it's okay, type of thing. And I don't know, maybe a week went by, and I had this image of a ticking time bomb. Like, I had this image in my head of a ticking time bomb. And I was like, at some point, it's not going to continue to be this way. And there was a lot of other factors. The main factor out of what led up to what I'm about to say was, number one, me not prioritizing God in my life on my own time. Number two, because I wasn't doing that, the enemy, I kind of made an analogy speaking as if, like, we have our spiritual shield. God's protecting us. God has been protecting me this whole year I've been at church, because I have been prioritizing him. I have been putting him first. So he has acknowledged that, and he's been protecting me. He's been there for me because I've allowed him to be in my life, and he's protected me from sadness and hopelessness and any other negative emotions, like, he's protected me from that. So I've honestly just been in such a great spot. But because I chose to ignore him, I feel like that shield slowly, I don't know, it got smaller and smaller to where it allowed the enemy to easily attack me. I literally was doing stuff I wasn't supposed to, knowing that it goes against God, and just allowing it to happen. And at that point, the enemy is like, I got you just where I want you. And he kind of just, like, threw me into this really hard emotional wall. Like, he just threw me into this wall where I felt sadness and hopelessness, and I haven't had really any thoughts like that. Any, feeling of, like, really strong sadness and hopelessness and not wanting to go to church. Like, all of these things happening at once, like, was a clear indicator to me that I was undergoing a spiritual attack. I just knew I was, because all these things haven't happened within this past year. And I knew, luckily, I still had my tools. God was there, and I ended up reaching out to a few people, and they spoke life into me, and they were giving me words of encouragement, and kind of just told me, what exactly I needed to hear. You just need to have time with God. You need to have personal time with him. And that's exactly what I did. I took that information and I used it. I was like, I absolutely do not want to be in this position mentally ever again. I really do not want to be in this state, because, man, it's just been weird. I just been, like, sad, hopeless, even though there's nothing wrong. I just feel that way for no reason. So I spent a night, I think it was actually last night. It was last night from the day of this video. And I came into my room, I shut the lights off, I kneeled over my bed, and I just prayed to God. I said, God, please forgive me for everything. Please forgive me for all my sins. Just know that I want you, and I love you, and I need you in my life. I need you to guide my life. And I don't want to feel this way anymore, God. I need you, and I'm sorry for what I did. I called out to him, and honestly now everything is getting better. You know, it's healing. It's a healing process. I guess I'm more just kind of confused right now because like it was just weird. This is a really weird experience. I wouldn't say I'm sad. I wouldn't say I'm hopeless anymore. I definitely feel a lot better, but still just kind of shaking off the loose ends type of thing. You know, just there's still a little bit more healing to go, and I'm okay. Everything's great, but just kind of getting back into my prior mindset with my life and everything. But everything is a lot better, and I just wanted to make this video and share with y'all that the main takeaway is not putting we have to put God first. We have to. When we start getting arrogant, we start getting stubborn, and we start thinking that, oh, I can live my whole life. My whole life this is my life, you know. This is my life that I've created all these things for myself. I've done all these things for myself. I don't need God. That is when it will slowly start getting, your life will really start getting worse. I swear it will. Once God, you know, once you separate yourself from him, it's all gonna fall down. And I actually yesterday, which is Sunday from this video, I was fighting even going to church, and I ended up deciding to go because I knew I needed to deep down, and I ended up going, and they were talking about rock and sand foundations, saying that, you know, when you follow God and you do what he asks you to do, and you do what's in his will for you, you're gonna have that rock foundation, you know. But when you veer off and do your own thing, make your own decisions, it turns into that sand foundation. And sand is just, over time, it will get destroyed because it's not strong enough to hold everything up, you know. So that message really seemed like it spoke out to me, and I took a ton of notes, and I'm gonna end up rereading those just to remind myself of what I learned. But that's just it, guys. Just, it's super easy, man. Being a Christian, I wouldn't say being a Christian is easy, but what we have to do is easy, and that's just putting God first. That's literally the answer to everything. Just put him first. Keep him around, obviously. Pray. He always is around, but allow him to be there. Pray. Talk to him. Communicate to him. Let him know that you want him there, and he'll be there for you. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and that's pretty much all I got for today, guys. So thank you for listening. Thanks for watching, and I hope y'all have a good one. Peace.